Okay, let's get into it. We'll get into everything, and everything will obviously take its course. But to start off, talk to me about your journey. Like, obviously, we'll start from before we got to here. Where did your creative journey begin? Where did your idea for what you wanted to do, the passion you wanted to perceive, where did it all start?
I want to say I've always been somewhat creative. I started making YouTube videos when I was like 13. I was making like Minecraft videos, Happy Wheels videos, like face cam and everything. Like I was recording it on Bandicam. Like I learned all of it. Like I don't remember how I learned it. Probably YouTube tutorials or something. But yeah, that's kind of where it started off. And then I feel like as I progressed through kind of, my teenage years, kind of did sports more. And then, secondary school. For us, it's secondary school. For you guys,
It's secondary school still.
Secondary school still.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of just faded away, and I don't know, it just kind of went away. And then as soon as I went back into college, I went to college to Cork City, and it just all came rushing back. Obviously, COVID started, and I started doing a podcast. Funnily enough, was my first actual like kind of media, and it was like no face cam, just learned how to like record chats, and I made maybe 20 or so. But during that time I was making YouTube videos as well, because I was learning how to skate, so I was kind of progressing or recording my skate journey, and then just started doing like random kind of vlogs and stuff like that. And then I was like, shit, maybe I want to do like this YouTube thing for real. I was like, this is fun. Like I'm doing, I wasn't doing like amazing views, but a couple of them would get like a couple of hundred. I'm like, oh shit, like that's big numbers when you're starting off. Like, you know what I mean? They were kind of going back to back with the podcast. They were kind of helping each other. And funnily enough, I made like some of my best friends because of that podcast in Cork. But it just kind of helped me to grow into the creative community a bit more, and especially during COVID, because like, how are you meeting people during COVID?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's literally just like kind of social media, and then the skate park was like the two ways like I met most of the people I'm friends with in Cork now. But that kind of led me to buying a camera, rest in peace, G7X Mark II. I dropped it in the ocean a couple of weeks ago at a festival. Yeah, it's a sad time, but it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, I bought that camera, and the camera itself actually had video and picture function. And I just kind of messing around. I've always kind of had, I don't know, like I don't want to say understanding, but like an appreciation for aesthetics. Like I'd go around taking pictures on my phone, and like I'd color grade them and stuff on like VSCO and like Lightroom and stuff, like the free version. So when I got the camera and I realized it had a picture mode on it, I was like, maybe I can give this a go. And I was just once again doing the same thing I was doing on my phone, but just with the camera, and like the results were crazy. Like the difference, I just fell in love with it. So it then went from the video side of it, I kind of dropped the video, the podcast, went towards the photography side of it, and just fell in love. And then I'd say I did maybe a year of photography, went to Chicago for a summer, realized that it's possible to make it in the photography realm, just because I actually shared an apartment with a model. Like she was a full-time model. She was telling me about like her lifestyle and shit, and I was like, damn, that sounds
sick.
That sounds incredible. Like she was getting flown out to LA, like getting flown out to New York, like going to Chanel shows. I was like, shit, I love that shit, because I love fashion too. And like, I'm trying to make all like these new, almost refound interests, try to like put them back into my life, I guess, as much as I could. In the meantime, I was studying criminology, so it had nothing to do with the.
That's how it always goes, right?
Man, is like, to be fair though, the criminology kind of gave me the opportunity to stay in Cork, and it was also like a safety blanket, I guess. The creative stuff didn't, and like I had the work ethic to be able to balance both. And yeah, after Chicago, I was like, I love fashion so much, and just started asking some of my friends to like model for me and stuff, and then that's when it really started kicking off. That's when I was like, oh shit, now I'm obsessed. Like all I can think about is like portraiture, like fashion photography. Like I was trying to learn everything about it. I was still using the G7X for so long. And then I dug out an old Canon, I think it was 800D, that my parents had from like 2007 or something. But see, the G7X, it's a point and shoot, whilst the Canon 800D, it's actually, and it's not a mirrorless, it's a mirror. Yeah, it is mirrored. It's like one of the older kind of models, but it's just, once again, one step up more. It's meant for photography. Like it's kind of like the opposite of the G7X, where the G7X is more videography and like kind of vlogs and like that playful kind of videos like that. But the the Canon 800D is actually meant for photography. Even though it was old, I still was able to find a way to kind of put my style on it. And once again, asking friends and just doing collabs, and eventually started charging for people. Like people were coming to me for it, and the ball just kept rolling.
Just kept rolling.
You know what I mean?
That's
just kept going. It kept going.
And now you felt like, dude, I wanted. You said so much there. And
yeah, sorry.
No. I'm not saying that as in like I meant like there's so much times I wanted to just interject, but I knew you were going. So sorry to interrupt. But you mentioned, I think what's fascinating to me is that how it's taken so many different paths.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that too. Like, so you started obviously with the YouTube videos when you're really young. Then it went to like, you know, skating, which I think is a form of creativity, but we can talk about that. But then also, you know, you talk about the podcast and then you know, video vlogs, and now you found this. Talk to me about that. Like, do you think that's like an important part of finding your thing, like your purpose is to try many different things, and then as you try it more and more, you kind of refine what you really care about?
I think that's exactly what it is. What you said at the end is you kind of just gravitate towards what you really enjoy. It's like I was kind of doing the YouTube videos because they were doing more views than the podcast, but I didn't enjoy them as much anymore. So I kind of just, you know, just kind of stopped doing. Like I never really am a fan of doing something unless you actually enjoy it. And I do understand there is, you know, game is game. Like you got to get your name out there. You got to get the views up. You know, like it's a social media. Like that's just how it works. But unfortunately for me, I just stick to the art and I stick to what I love, and I don't know. It's just it doesn't come out good unless I'm passionate about it.
And it's also it's a longevity thing too. Like you think about it, if you really want to do it, the game is to play the longest, right? Like these people who've been the longest is the people that will in the end be successful. So if you're doing something you don't really enjoy, but you're doing it for the sake of getting your name out there, at some point you'll be known as that thing. Are you okay doing that for the rest of that time, or even pivoting? Now your fans are going to be like, "Well, what's going on?" Yeah. But if you just start with something you really enjoy and you just build it up slowly, that's just the process of it, you know.
Yeah.
What did you? Sorry, go on. I was gonna say, and hopefully it leads into what you're about to say. But like, what did you learn from that experience of like what did you learn from each of them? What did you learn from like the YouTube videos, and what did you learn from the podcast, and how did that help you when you finally started doing photography?
They all kind of mesh into each other, I guess, because you're trying to. The biggest thing about it is you're trying to market yourself on social media, and to be fair, with YouTube videos, my aim was to be a YouTuber. With that, you kind of have to have an income, and I was making no money from it. Like literally, I was probably have like 20 cents to my name from YouTube right now. Like, and to me, that was like, okay, I'm not making a big loss here. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with the podcast. It's just, it wasn't, you know. And once again, once again in Ireland, it's just like the monetary side of it is just not as good as everywhere else, unfortunately, when it comes to the kind of creative sphere. But it is, you know, it is getting better. But you know, like we don't even have like paid TikTokers. Like everyone else is out here making money from TikToks, and it's like, why doesn't Ireland get them? Do you know what I mean? But that's what it was for me. It wasn't really a big sacrifice to just stop, because I could always go back. And once again, because I was doing it for me and just for the fun of it and just for the love of it, it kind of just, it didn't really like feel wrong. Do you know what I mean? And essentially, like, it did kind of keep going in a different way, where I do vlogs on my Instagram with like my friends from
I've
Cork,
seen those.
and it's just like,
those are really cool, by the way.
Thank you. But like, that's all it is. It's just like, it's just me having fun. It's just, most of them are just us getting pissed. Like we're just on nights out, but it's just fun. Like we go to events, we go to like gigs, we go to like festivals. Like we just do shit that I'm like, I want to be able to remember this.
100%.
I have the kind of abilities to be able to record it and put it together in like this short film style and just have fun with it. And like, you know, like for me, editing is like half of the fun. Like capturing it is kind of like you're almost building the canvas or like picking up the materials, and then like the editing, that's when you're really putting it all together.
I want to get into that too. I want to get into how like your process, like your creative process works when it comes to videos and photography too. But before we do that, talk to me about, so you mentioned Ireland and how it's very difficult to kind of make a name for, especially the TikTok thing is crazy. How you guys don't have paid TikToks is insane, especially how big TikTok is.
It's most media is like a YouTube. Like once again, I'm pretty sure it's only been in the last like 10 years, 5-10 years that it's started to pay like you could actually make money off it or make a living off it. What like a lot of the TikTokers in Ireland do is they'll kind of transfer over. They'll build up their TikTok and they'll transfer over to like Instagram or to YouTube to try build up there as well. But it's like once you build it on one platform, it's hard to carry everyone over.
Absolutely.
Especially with TikTok, because TikTok is kind of the easiest to grow on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I haven't figured out how to do that, to be honest.
To be fair.
Man, I've been trying to grow on TikTok and I just keep giving up because I'm like, I just don't get it. Am I a boomer already? Like, is this what's happening? Am I like I'm not that old, like, surely.
Yeah, no, man, like, it's bad. Like, I talked to my little brother about it. I'm like, dude, what's going on here? And he's like, Jeff, you're such a boomer. I'm like, what do you mean I'm a boomer? Like, but it's just, again, it's just because this mechanism of how the social media works, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I find it so fascinating too when you talk about how difficult it is to monetize an island, because having been there, one thing I realized was that like the community, the creative community there is actually vibrant. Like the people create, but like you're right, like because it's such I guess it's not looked at as like the hub. Actually monetizing is difficult. How do you balance both? Like how it's so creative in amongst you and your friend, but like getting out there, getting people to kind of like pay attention to it is difficult.